Hello and welcome back. I don't know why that. I guess that must be the go back key when I hit page up, but that's also my recording key, so you always see like the last frame of the last one. Welcome back to Our Life, Beginnings and Always. Last time we caught some fireflies. I didn't even talk about that. I just read it and kind of went through it robotically, and I apologize for that. So like I've never really done that. I didn't really have anything to add to that concept. I think that's why I was like that. Because it was like, yeah, I was thinking this the whole time though when I was watching it. This is something that about this game that is interesting to me because it's the idea of having this group of friends as kids that you play with. I didn't have kids. I didn't live in a neighborhood. I didn't grow up on a street. I grew up out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, and we didn't have neighbors. We had neighbors, but their kids were shitty. I played with them a couple times, but they were pretty awful and not great people. I didn't really have that many friends at school, and you couldn't really at that time, drive to someone else's house all that much either. It just wasn't a thing. So I didn't have like a playground just down the street that I could go to by myself, or like a hill behind my house where I could go catch fireflies with all my friends and do like races. We did do rolling down the hill races when I was like with my cousins and stuff. So I'm familiar with that concept. But yeah, I've never done that. So that's in a moment that I really don't have any personal connection or context to. It's cute, it was sweet, it was nice. Cove is a really weird hand. Let's pick the next moment. 9. Runaway. Oh, jeez. Okay. We're gonna do this one. This is probably a longer one, and it's probably kind of not a happy one. I guess it's good to get it out of the way now. To me, it's kind of weird that you would do that one after you do all these other ones, because, like, you'll see, but it's, like, steps backwards for Cove as a character, which would make more sense, I think, at this point. So let's yeah. It was early and you were on your way to the playground. Lizzie planned on joining you there later. You weren't sure what she was busy with right now. Older kid stuff, you imagine. So, in the first video, they said that Lizzie was, yeah, so this must be your whole house here. This must be where the rooms are. It's interesting to me that there's even, like, this street-level garage. Is that the whole garage? Is that open? Is that a full car space? I never really thought about this, but it's a weird design because there's this hill here. Oh wait, no, there's two separate houses, right? So this is our house here, or is this our house here? I'm assuming this is our house with the two levels, because I think they mentioned at some point you have another level. I never really figured out this street, but this garage is weird to me anyway, because it's not very tall, and it's built into the street. This one makes a little more sense, I don't know. It's just art, right? But anyway, in the first moment they said that Lizzie was old enough to go to the playground by herself. I'm surprised that our character is. I didn't think they would let you. Anyway, let's just continue. That was okay. What was forefront in your mind was if Cove might be free to come too. As you walked the familiar street, wondering how you might find your neighbor, he appeared right in front of you, almost as if he was a mind reader. Cove, I was looking for you. Come to the playground with me?
No.
Sorry. Cove looked strangely serious. It had to be an even bigger deal than whatever mystery thing Lizzie had to do. He's got his little backpack on and everything. Cove is ready. Whoa. I'm leaving, Marina. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mind blown. So I keep talking, I keep comparing this to Saro's playthrough because this is the only playthrough I have context for. In that, see, her character is the polar opposite of this one. My character is like in your face, like, hey, I'm Marina, you're cool, I want to be your friend. Her character never talks. She was like, especially as a child, she's terrified of other people. Cove didn't do this. Cove was just gone. He just left. Cove had come up to me and told me just now that he's running away. Holy crap. This completely changes the moment. What, where? He shifted and your gaze was drawn to the backpack slung over his shoulders. Cove liked to stuff things into his pockets from what you'd seen, but people sometimes carried bags with them. It hadn't been very attention-worthy until now. I don't know why I find him so adorable as a kid now. I hated him as a kid before. I don't know. It's just something about playing this, and you're like, oh, poor little Cove, I just want to protect him from the world. The pack was decorated with cartoon waves and dolphins. He gripped one of the straps tightly with his good hand. I just wanted you to know. Cove didn't glance up and meet your eyes. He started to grow worried. I don't get it, but where are you going? Oh, can I go too? I'll come with you. I don't know. Probably, but where are you going? Because I don't think she'd necessarily immediately volunteer to go. She's not like, you know, well, is she though? Marina's kind of a, yeah, I'll come with you. He looked up at that. You hoped he would agree, but instead he shook his head. I'll come back though, sometime. I don't know when, but we can do stuff then. He directed a fragile smile your way. So, I guess what it's implying here is that Cove values your friendship. So it's interesting, like, I think if you pick fondness for him, he has fondness for you. And vice versa. Like, I think it's the thing that you choose in the beginning is always returned. If you're indifferent to him, then Cove is indifferent to you, and so on and so forth. I don't know. I'd be interested in like later moments. We'll see how it goes, because I'm gonna pick things, you know, that aren't necessarily cohesive with this being a romance game, to see if Cove tries to get romantic, even though I'm not romantic. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. Without another word, Cove turned on his heel and started to walk away. Bye, see you when you're done. Wait, you couldn't say anything else to him. Wait! He kept going, his focus wasn't on you anymore. What was that about? You watched as his back grew smaller and smaller, then you realized you were still standing in the middle of the sidewalk. You thought about your earlier plan of playing at the park. Suddenly it didn't seem as fun anymore, not without Cove. But it wasn't like you could force him to play with you. He had things to do. You went to play at the park? You stayed there. Huh. This is a tough one. What would she do? I mean, Cove is off about his own business, right? We can go have our own adventures. It was still sad Cove wouldn't be there, but you wanted to stick with the plans you had on your own. Maybe Cove and his dad were going on a vacation. That had to be it. After all, Cove said he was going to be back. He wasn't moving again. You resolved to spend time with Cove, and you saw him next time for sure. After a couple hours at the playground by yourself, it had gotten firmly into afternoon. Oh, I gotta try this. Sarah told me that if I click the left mouse button... No. The mouse wheel? Wait, what? No, mouse wheel goes back. Clicking it doesn't do anything. That just goes back. So I don't have a way to... Let's start fiddling with some buttons and see if we get anything. Actually, no. Let's look it up. Our life. How to show... How to remove text box. Option to hide the text box. Pressing H. Hey, there we go. It's H. Perfect. So we can do that. I probably won't use that as the background on this one, but now I can do that so I can make the thumbnails. Because I want to use the actual scenes from the game as the thumbnails because it's gorgeous. Anyway, let's actually get on with it. You were on the swing set with your feet buried in the sand when you spotted Lizzie in the distance. See, feet buried in the sand. So, I want to talk about that for a second, because there is a whole contention about that. I love the feeling of sand in my feet. I hate getting sand off my feet at the end of the day, but I love that feeling. The sand is so warm. Oh my god. The problem is, a lot of beaches is the sand is too warm, and then you burn your feet. But when it's just perfect, like I grew up in nice, cooler sandy beaches, areas where the water is cold, really cold, and the beaches aren't super hot or anything. I love the beach. I love sand. Enough said. It's coarse, it gets everywhere. I'm such a downer character. Yeah. I'm not making fun of people, I'm making fun of Anakin, because he's dumb. She was rushing over like something was on her tail, chasing you. You knew she would be coming, but was she that excited to get to the park? Instead of nabbing the swing beside yours, Lizzie stopped in front of you. She bent over, balanced her hand at her knees, and panted. Did you hear? Hear what? Lizzie bounced back up, her eyes blown wide. You only saw this worked up when she found the new hiding place of Mom's sugar stash. I love Lizzie. So we even have like a different relationship with Lizzie, it feels like so far. Which is what I want.
It's about Cove.
Cove? Something in the pit of your stomach dropped at hearing his name. You listened intently as Lizzie explained.
I just came out when I saw lots of people gathered around in the middle of the street. They were talking kind of quietly, so I don't think I was supposed to hear, but that just means it was important.
I love that she's like this too.
So I snuck up and I heard everything.
She paused dramatically. Clearly she wanted you to say something. So, what'd you hear? Tell me? I don't really care. You just looked back to her. Tell me! Lizzie raised her eyebrows at your insistence, and she continued easily.
Cove is missing. He left a piece of paper for Mr. Holden to tell him, since he was going away and wouldn't be gone for a long time, and no one's seen him since.
Yeah. It was called Runaway, right? So you knew what Cove was doing, right? Cove was running away from home.
Now they're searching the whole neighborhood. The grown-ups were even saying that if they don't find Cove soon, they'll call the police.
Look at this worried Lizzie face. Man, Lizzie's so cool. I don't know why. I like Lizzie. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. The police? This was horrible. You had seen Cove. You knew he was going somewhere, but you had no idea it was like that. Was Cove going to be arrested for running away? You thought you might have to go to jail too for not saying anything and let him go. Oh my god, I love child logic. You glanced back at Lizzie. Should you tell her that you'd known about Cove leaving, or would it be better to keep that to yourself? You told Lizzie about seeing Cove. Yeah, we were not keeping shit secret from our sister. This is our big sister. We want to be like our big sister. She's so cool. She makes all the rules and stuff.
Actually, Lizzie, I saw Cove. He told me he was gonna go before I went to the park. What? Really?
You nodded seriously. This is serious business. It's serious times here. Serious times, guys. Serious times. This would have been a great stream game, but I'm not streaming this. I'm recording it.
Oh, you know, you could be in big trouble if a grown-up found out you didn't tell anybody that Cove was being weird.
She crossed her arms over her chest, sticking your nose in the air. Oh, we're gonna be like that, are we, Liz?
You're welcome.
You're lucky I won't tell on you.
You scoffed. Thanks, Lizzie. You looked down shyly. Thanks, Lizzie. You were happy that Lizzie had your back. She always did when it came to potential trouble. She just grinned at her own interpretation of her favor. Yeah, I mean, Lizzie's doing it to be a brat. And I'm just like, yeah, you're such a cool sister. You watched as your sister began to pace in front of you.
I know Mom said Cove was sad about moving here, but running away from home is crazy.
Jeez.
Where else is he gonna go anyway?
I don't know. I want to find him. I hope someone finds him soon. Yeah, I'd go tons of places. You didn't answer. I'd go tons of places. I like that. That's the most... Oh my god, this character. Lizzie scrunched her face up, thinking deeply for a moment. Then she nodded and put her hands to her hips, determined.
I'm gonna go look too.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
We can play at the park any day, and the more people there are looking, the quicker someone will find him. Maybe I'll be the one who does. I'm the best at hide and seek after all.
It seemed like Lizzie wanted to look not only because she was concerned about Cole, but also because it was the most interesting thing to happen this week.
Wish me luck!
Before you could say anything, she ran off in the opposite direction from where she came. You were left in the dust in a matter of moments. That was your sister for you. But Lizzie's appearance in the crisis faded to the back of your mind just as quickly. Cove. He told his dad he was leaving to go somewhere by himself. Why did Cove suddenly decide to do that today? Did something bad happen? It was impossible to say for sure. So I was curious. I was kind of wanting to go with Lizzie but she didn't volunteer to do that. I'm kind of sad. Unfortunately, you had no idea where he could have gone. You thought hard. There were hills behind your house. He had gone there the first time you met. But someone would have checked there already. They wouldn't need the police for that. Cove must be far away, or hiding somewhere, if the whole neighborhood was looking for him. He swung back and forth, your lips pursed in contemplation. If I were Cove, where would I go? Lizzie had said Cove was crazy for running away from home, but he never considered Sunset Bird his home, did he? His real home was somewhere else. Yeah, I never ran away from home. I had nowhere to go, and I love my family too much. But I could see Cove in this situation, you know, getting put into this whole. I grew up in like a stable family, you know, with a mom and a dad and a whole thing, and we didn't have a lot of family members for support, so I didn't have any reason to want to leave home, to run away from home. I mean, I thought about trying like the whole, you know, could I do this for a night kind of thing, like if I ran away and lived in the woods or something, but you know, I never really actually wanted to because I was mad or upset or anything. Anyway. There was only one place that came to mind that might be important enough for Code to go off like this. It was a good idea, except how was he going to get there? Did he take a bus? Was he going to walk the whole way? He didn't know what direction he needed to take. But wait, there was only one way he could go. Going down the street just led to the beach, so that couldn't be right. Going to either side would mean he'd get stuck by buildings and fences and big slopes like the one behind your house. Then that left going up the street. You knew that road. It led to the main part of town and kept going all the way to the city limits. Cove didn't know the area well. He didn't think he'd want to go off that road with onto some other random street, which meant if someone followed that path, they might find him somewhere along it. The grown-ups seemed to all be looking in the neighborhood, so you had to go find Cove by yourself. By myself. I mean, I'd love to take Lizzie. No, yeah. There was no time to lose. You rushed to where you abandoned your flip-flops and slipped them on. They slapped against the sand as you left the playground. Marina is determined. She's gonna find her friend. This is our friend. He ran away from home. You went right up the street, along the main street, keeping an eye out for Cove. No one else had the same idea as you, it seemed, because you were completely alone there. You passed through the whole neighborhood, and the next one over, and the next. You hurried down the sidewalk as fast as you could without running. You recalled Lizzie's comment about hide and seek. It didn't really feel like Cove was hiding from you somewhere, and you had to find him. He just has a big head start, right? He has a couple hours head start, girl. You're not gonna catch him, but you're 8, and you don't think about that. And now I've run away from home and hurried everybody too, and it's fantastic. But I love this character. She's impulsive. That's what I decided. 100% goblin energy. You kept walking. You called out for Cove a few times, but you didn't see that familiar mop of green hair anywhere. After a while, the sun began to dip out of the sky. It would be dark soon, and there was still no sign of your neighbor. You weren't even in the residential district by this point. You had reached the central part of town. Holy crap! So my friend's playthrough, I didn't get to see this screen till the second act of the game. Let's just enjoy that. I might use that as the opening. I like that. The grocery store. The area was once strange and familiar. You'd have been here before, of course. It was at once strange and familiar. You'd been here before, of course, but never without your moms close by. They would drive you. So I need to read, slow down. And if you need me to slow down and read these more carefully, I can. I kind of lose some of the context. I'm in a hurry. I like reading fast. I'm excited. I'm an excitable girl. That even Lizzie was allowed to come here by herself. Would Cove have been determined enough to go even further? Yeah. If we're not allowed to go here by ourselves, we're here by ourselves. Yes, sir. We're gonna get in trouble. Cove. You showed his name a few times, but as you've done periodically this entire time, but there was nothing. Maybe he's not going this way. Was he somewhere else? Had someone found him already? You turned back. You kept going forward. No, Why would we turn around now? You were able to make it this far. You had to continue the search. With that in mind, you pushed yourself to walk a little faster. People said that this was really a tiny town, but you had felt absolutely gigantic. Eventually, the business part of town ended, too. There was no sidewalk anymore, only a long expanse of road. You walked on the grass instead. Onward was the only option. Your journey stubbornly continued. Your feet hurt, you were tired, but you were on your own, but somehow you had reached the very edge of Sunset Bird. That's what the sign told you. Okay, so this is what I'm using as the. You had lived in Sunset Bird forever, and it was a very rare occasion that you'd see this sign. Most everything in your life had happened inside the city limits. The endless road ahead seemed scary in a way. It paralyzed you and finally put an end to your forward momentum. So, I've been to California. I've been to these parts of California before, I think. And it does look like this. So I love this. There's like the hills in the background and this open plains kind of thing, but at the edge of the coast and stuff. Like California is an amazing state because you can transition from being at the ocean and drive within a couple hours and be in the mountains. It's just so pretty there. I would never want to live there in a million years, but it's a nice place to visit. You scanned your surroundings instead of dwelling on that. You deeply hoped you hadn't gone past that sign either.
Hey, Cove, where are you?
The previous times you called out his name, there had been no answer. You couldn't be surprised that one didn't come this time either until...
Marina?
A dark blob just behind the exit sign's legs shifted. You squinted as it continued to move. The more you stared, the more your eyes adjusted, and the more that dark blob resembled a person. Then you realized just who it was. It was Cove. He was here. You actually found him! He hesitantly got up from where he'd been sitting, as if to make sure he'd actually heard something. He had actually heard something. Then he caught sight of you, his eyes wide behind his glasses.
There you are. Are you crazy? I'm so happy you're here. I've been looking everywhere for you. I knew you'd be here.
You were just as stunned and it left you silent. I've been looking everywhere for you. I like the "are you crazy," but... Would she say that? Would she be that, like, I think after all this, she'd be a bit more worried than indignant.
I've been looking everywhere for you.
Cole finally blinked as you ran up to him, your feet still aching.
How did you find me? You said you were leaving, and you've always wanted to go back home. So I thought you must have come this way.
Oh.
And that was all he said. After all of this, maybe he didn't realize how seriously the adults were taking it. What are you gonna do now? Are you okay? We should head back now. Just, no, your friend's welfare is more important than just going right back. She's not the kind of kid who would think, oh yeah, we have to go listen to the grown-ups. This is serious. Cove needs to be okay, man. Yeah. He didn't look okay. His brows were pinched and his shoulders tense. You got the feeling pointing that out wouldn't help matters. I missed Cove. I missed young Cove's faces. I need young Cove's faces in my life. Everyone's looking for you. This caught his attention. He frowned at you.
Really?
Oh, look at the eyebrow raise, Cove.
They are? Yeah, the whole neighborhood. Lizzie told me they might even call the police. We might get arrested.
Yeah, I bet you they are calling the police now that we're gone too.
What? Why? I don't know, because you tried to run away, probably? And I knew, so I'm your, accomplice.
Was that the word? You thought so. You'd heard it before on those detective shows Mommy liked to watch. Oh my god.
We're not gonna be arrested.
Although Cove said that, he looked a little worried over the news.
Come on, Cove. Let's go home.
No.
I love that voice acting, man. He's just like, no, screw that. He spoke crossly. You were thirsty and exhausted, and you weren't sure you could keep going back and forth about this. Why not? How come? Why can't we just go? You're stupid. I don't understand why you can't go back. You're stupid. Let's be mad at Cove. No. She wouldn't be mad at Jim. How come? Your question caused me to waver, but not budge. At first Cove was quiet. You started to think he wouldn't say anything. Then he spoke.
My mom called today to check up on me and stuff. She asked what Sunset Bird was like and how I was doing. It was okay.
Yeah, it's weird to me to think that Kyra made Cliff move out. Oh, that's their names, by the way. I'm spoiling stuff. Because I didn't catch that the first time around. That the dad... I really want to know what happened. But maybe I'll find out eventually. But when I asked if she'll come here... See, I have all this intrinsic knowledge of this game. I'm not going in blind. If I was going in blind, it'd be a completely different thing. I'd probably still play the character the same way, but it'd be a completely different thing. Like, I'm not picking the decisions or the choices based on any intrinsic knowledge, but it's interesting to know how these moments play out differently if I play a different character. So I have that knowledge, how it could have been.
But when I asked if she'll come here, Mom said she couldn't. I can't go back either, not right now. She has to move somewhere else first.
Oh, wow. That's interesting stuff to know. Cove glared at the ground, his voice cracked as he continued.
It's not fair.
Why can't I even see her anymore?
So mad. He's so mad. He used his uncasted arm to rub both of his eyes. Over his glasses? Did he take his glasses off?
I'm gonna go myself. I don't need anyone to take me.
How are you gonna get to your mom's place? That's such a bad idea. This is all just too much and you started to cry. Do you know the directions to your old house? You're being selfish. Wow. How are you gonna get to your mom's place? He just wanted to see his mom. Maybe you would have had the idea to run away too if you were Cove, but that doesn't mean it'll work.
I'll walk there. I brought supplies.
Isn't it really far? Cove was silent for a moment. You poked a hole in his perfect plan. Then he shook his head, like he was trying to clear it. When he spoke some more, it was more so to himself.
If I don't go see Mom, then she's...
Fresh tears glistened in Cove's red-rimmed eyes. He stubbornly tried to blink them away, but they slipped on his cheeks. He frowned at the sight. No matter what, you hated seeing him cry.
And she what? Mom doesn't call that much, and I haven't seen her in so long.
Cove hiccuped, wiping his face with the back of his arm. His glasses got shoved up awkwardly as a result. There we go.
If I don't go, she'll be gone. She'll forget about me. She wouldn't do that.
This is a different thing than I thought. So, when this moment plays out the other way, I just got the impression that Cove was just, tired of living here and weird about that. But this makes more sense. This is why I was commenting at the beginning. It was weird that he would run away that far into the story, because it feels like that far into the story he would have established some connections in Sunset Bird. Why would he not want to run away? But this makes a lot more sense, that he's worried about losing his mom forever because she has to, leave. This is something, man.
How do you know? She's your mom. She loves you.
Your mom's always said that, so it must be true for Cove's mom, too. Cove sniffled. He seemed conflicted.
I'm not sure if that's right.
You were at a standstill. Everything will be okay if we just go home. We can't stay here forever, and we can't go out there. We've got to go back. And we'll stay out here. I'm not gonna go back. No. You see, if we go back, we got our moms and Lizzie and Shiloh and, people that we like, so everything will be okay. Now, this one, she would, is she smart enough to say that? No, I think everything will be okay. No, she's sensitive to the situation. Yeah, we better go back. Cove's brows furrowed, a scowl appearing on his lips. He turned away from you. He stared at his back. You couldn't just stop.
Come on, Cove.
So mad. After a few minutes of sullen silence, Cove twisted back around. He wouldn't look you in the eye.
Okay, let's go. I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want something bad to happen.
He was doing it for you. That gave you a warm feeling inside, even if you wished you didn't want to leave in the first place. And that was that. Together you walked away from the exit sign. Your feet hurt a lot by this point. You were so tired, but you'd convinced him. You were bringing Cove home, and that's what mattered. On the long walk back, it was only thanks to the occasional street lamp and faint moonlight that you could see in the dark night. So nobody has gone looking for us in all this time! The adults are this useless in our lives. Really? They didn't think to go down the road. Like, the one other direction that Cove could have gone that wasn't in the neighborhood. And you were in a car, you would have found these kids in 10 minutes, man. This isn't a big town. You were content to stick close together. Sometimes your drowsy walking caused one of you to almost bump into the other. The back of your hand brushed his. This is cute, though. You held on to Cove's hand. You noticed Cove took hold of your hand. Shook your head, trying to wake yourself up. No, we don't want. Yeah, we're gonna hold Cove's hand. Yeah, because Cove isn't. I don't think Cove is too mad, right? We want to comfort the little bean. You reached out for his hand. It slipped into yours easily. His palm was warm. Cove glanced at you, looking surprised. Then he smiled. His fingers curled around the back of your hand. We want to comfort this man's. He's had a rough time. This kid is having a rough time here. We want him to feel better. This is the best way to do it. The two of you continued down the street, hand in hand. You wondered if everyone was still looking for Cove, and you too, probably.
Do you think they called the police after all?
The police would have found us in like 10 minutes, man! They would have been. Somebody has to be smart enough just to drive down the main street of town.
No, probably not.
He didn't sound confident, though. You still hoped he was right. You didn't want to go to jail. You weren't sure how much time passed. All you knew that was one moment you were fighting the drooping of your eyelids while shuffling near Cove on the sidewalk, and the next you were snapped back to attention by the blaring beep of a horn. Cove froze. You whipped around to see a car approaching you. It was difficult to make out who it was. The headlights were so blinding. Instead of continuing down the road, the car slowed near where you sat. Yeah, we haven't seen any other cars either. This is a small town. Maybe we've seen cars? I don't know. I wonder, how many people live in Sunset Bird? How big of a town is it? The window rolled down, revealing the face behind the wheel. It was very familiar.
Mom!
You shouted back, not just because there was some distance between you and her.
Where have you kids been? I've been looking everywhere for you! The town exit sign?
She blinked.
What?
I wonder if we'll get to see angry mom face. We have indignant mom face, but I've never seen them get mad before, because my friend played such a well-behaved child. I am not one of those. Marina is not one of those.
You know what? Never mind.
She stopped looking at you, instead staring hard straight ahead. Both her hands were gripping the wheel. Maybe it's going to be more like worried mom. In turn, Cove gripped your hand tighter. This was hard to face. Guilt ate you up from the inside. We didn't think this through.
All right.
Get in, you two. Let's go home. Let's get in. Let's get you two home. That at least made her showing up worth it. Your feet were aching like crazy from all the walking you'd done today. You yanked open the side door, slipped inside the back seat, then clambered over so Cove had enough room to climb into. See these cars? Wow, look at all the buttons on the console. Man, that's like... So this is like... the 90s by the by, I'm pretty sure, or like the late 90s, I want to say, early 2000s. So we have 90s style cars here, and the cars will evolve as we go on, which is cool. It might be early. This might be, it's probably early 2000s, because I think later it feels like it's kind of getting into modern times. Like I think the last moments are probably the year that the game came out. Something like that. He followed in wordlessly, tucking his backpack near his feet. Your mom looked at you and Cove from the rearview mirror. The two of you had us extremely worried. That wasn't a good thing to do. Not at all. Yeah. So... but you have a car, and there's one road in this town, and one direction. And why would... I guess there's a lot of side streets and stuff, too, so maybe they could have assumed that. I don't know. Shamefaced, you both nodded as one. But how come no one would have thought that Cove might be trying to go see his mom? Like, no one comes up with that. You can tell him. You can be the smart one and be like, hey, Cove, I know where Cove is. And then they go find him, like, right away. Before it's even dark out.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mrs. Foster.
Sorry, Mom. She softened immediately. Not enough to actually let it go, though. No. You'll have to apologize to everyone else, too. With that, Mom started the car up again and you were off. Yeah, I'm gonna be grounded. We're in so much trouble. For the rest of the car ride, no one said anything. You thought all of you were pretty tired. In fact, you must have dozed off at some point because you woke up to the sound of the engine stopping. When you opened your eyes, you realized Cove was looking over at you. He was tense. We're back. He yawned again and got out of the car. Cove came out again after putting his backpack on again. I wonder what would happen if I told Cove, let's go, I'm staying out here with you. Would they still have driven out there and found us and been even more mad? I wonder. Mom locked the car door and motioned you two towards the house. She opened the front door and let you go in first. So, this it could have been a stranger danger situations. Mommy appeared quickly. She must have been waiting nearby. There was a phone in her hand. It worried you, thinking about who she might have been talking to. So the mommy is the more, like, empathic one. The mom is more, serious business mom. So I don't remember these books being on the table before. Well, I don't know. The tight line of her shoulders relaxed when she saw you and Cove.
Oh, thank goodness you found both of them.
Yes, I did. They were walking down the main street together. Oh, this is exasperated mom face. They're not. Neither one of them looks that angry though yet.
What were you two doing here at this time of night? Do you have any idea how far that is? How unsafe?
I guess this is as angry as they were ever drawn. Like, she still looks like she's, like, talking. You know, you can imagine a tone. You peeked at Cove. He still looked exhausted. His eyes were puffy and there were dry tear tracks stuck to his cheeks. So you have to imagine, you know, kids get into trouble. Like I said, I never did stuff like this.
I wanted to see my mom. Marina came to get me.
Your own mom shared a look. You weren't sure what it meant, but they always did that. You wondered if they could read each other's minds. These women love each other and it's fantastic. Since they were communicating telepathically, you stole a glance around the house. Lizzie wasn't anywhere in sight. She's probably asleep. Could she be outside somewhere searching for Cove still?
Where's Lizzie? Your sister's in your room fast asleep, the same way you should have been.
Yeah, it's like, you know, way late at night. We're like after midnight here, kid.
She came back earlier? She'd been out looking for Cove after accidentally finding out he was missing. She tried to pretend otherwise, but she was worried. She said she checked all the hiding places she could think of, but she couldn't find Cove.
You and Cove exchanged remorseful glances at that. Mommy noticed the discomfort.
Okay.
You two must be sleepy. You can sit down wherever you like.
Mommy smiled warmly and motioned to the living room. Cove looked at her, then lumbered over. You followed closely behind. Yeah, at the end of the day, they're still really, really sweet people. Like, these moms are just too good to be, you know. You have this loving family and support structure, which I think is the whole point of this game. Is to, you know, I just realized this. I don't want to keep talking about stuff. I know these aren't AI arts, but everybody struggles drawing hands, right? Like, it just kind of looks off. I mean, her hands too, but especially the mom's hands, the way they are. I know everybody struggles drawing hands and fingers. It's like, who does that? Whose hand can do that? My hand can't do this with the gaps in it. That bothers me. I can't do the Spock thing though either. The live long and prosper. My fingers don't part that much. I know we're artificially extending the length of this video, but I had to talk about that. It was bothering me. But the idea of this game is to create this loving support structure for the player. Regardless of who you are, you can find a home here, a place to escape from the rest of the world, and that's lovely. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm making up for the last one being so short by just talking about a million things in this one. The living room wasn't far, separated by a wall, so you heard your mom's talking softly. I mean, yeah, we can literally see where the living room is.
He wanted to go see his mother? Poor thing.
Well...
That explains it at least. Still, I'm not sure it excuses it. It was so dangerous to go off into town like that. He's having a hard time right now. You can't expect a child to handle it maturely. True, it can't be helped.
It's nice to see them having a conversation, like an adult conversation, because you don't get that much of a peek into this, like what they're like when you're not around.
But that's enough of that. We should tell Cliff and the others that he's here before the panic gets out of hand.
There could be riots. Yeah, there's the first time we're getting in this play we were getting that his name was Cliff. Clifford Holden. That name is so fitting for that man. Oh, Cliff Holden. You're a character.
Is that all right?
I'll call, then go to the front to tell everyone still out there. You keep an eye on the kids. Make sure they don't take any more trips today.
So they're still out there searching, and it's this late at night. Holy crap! Those people.
Got it, hon.
It's nice to see the affection too. Cove just sat there on the couch, setting up his backpack down beside him. He stared at his hands.
This is so weird. What is? Everyone was looking for me. They all know I tried to leave. I kind of want to run away and not come back this time so I don't have to see them again.
I don't think you could get away on your own, kid. People have cars and there's not that many roads. They'd probably figure out where you're going now. Maybe I should try that. That isn't gonna help. They'll forgive you. Please never run away again. Aww. Aww. They'll forgive you. Nah, that isn't gonna help.
You just need to talk to them. They'll forget about it. Guess I'll have to.
You had more to say to Cove and to ask him, but before you could, the front door opened. Your mom was back, with Mr. Holden close behind her. He made a beeline for the couch, his gaze trained on his son.
Cove?
Cove, God, are you alright? Oh my god, word Cliff, man. Strands of his hair had fallen out of his ponytail, and his eyes were darkened like he'd been crying too. Yeah, this man's really loves his son. Okay, he's a good... Say what you want about Cliff Holden, he is a damn good dad. Cove stared up at his dad, his own eyes wide behind frames of his glasses. He really hadn't expected it to be such a big deal.
I'm okay.
Good, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. He clasped a hand on his son's shoulder, attempting a smile, but the corner of his lips twitched and spasmed as if they wanted to wilt into a frown instead. Cove seemed to have that effect on him. Mr. Holden turned to you, still smiling weakly. I'm so happy you're all right too, Marina. And he looked at your moms. Thanks for your help, as always. He laughed pitifully.
I'm sorry.
And I'm very sorry for ruining your afternoon with this. I can't apologize enough.
It's okay.
It was no trouble, Cliff. Really, it couldn't be helped. In a way, something was bound to happen sometime. Besides, he wasn't the only one who decided it was a good idea to disappear today.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're just happy the kids are safe and sound.
Not for the first time that day, you recalled your original meeting with Cove. He had run away then, too. Only not as far as he had today. Cove must have had a similar thought because he mumbled an apology.
Sorry, Dad. I won't leave anymore. Promise.
Some life seemed to return to Mr. Holden thanks to his promise. This time around, his smile was more genuine.
I'm so glad.
That's a relief to hear. Next time you feel like running off, come to me first, okay? We can talk about it. I'm here for you.
He nodded. Cove nodded. His dad reached out and mussed his hair playfully. Although he made a face, Cliff didn't try to dodge his hand as he usually did. Let's go home, bud. I bet you're as tired as I am. Mr. Holden took over carrying Cove's backpack, still clasping a free hand on his son's shoulders when he stood up on the couch. I really want to know what kind of supplies he brought. I really want to know what's in the stuff this kid thinks is important. He's got some granola bars in there, some Band-Aids, maybe like his favorite seashell. I mean, what does this kid think is important? Maybe a change of socks? The five of you walked out the front door so you could see them off. Mr. Holden thanked your moms profusely at least 3 more times before he walked out the door. Cove was made to follow. But he stopped and turned to you before stepping through the threshold.
Thanks.
Thanks. That sounded like he was almost Australian there for a second.
Good thing I was there.
A tiny smile flitted across his lips, there and gone, and then gone. I'm glad you're okay. You waved him off, you hugged him. I don't think she's... yeah. But you're okay. He began to sniffle again while looking at your face.
I'm glad you're here.
And with that, Cove left. Mommy closed the door behind them. You were practically dead on your feet at that point. All the exhaustion, right? Their fatigue must have been obvious. So this is interesting. You can see all of the town from out here. I never really thought about that. There's a big like town hall. So this is like all up in the hills. These might be neighboring towns even farther away. Your fatigue must have been obvious because your mom sent you right to bed with no more discussion on what happened that day. Look at our cool stuffed animals. I love them. What the heck? Is this like some kind of Mr. Potato Head squid? This looks like a VeggieTales character. The sheep is obviously our favorite. Once your head hit that pillow, your eyes slipped closed on their own. Your eyelids were so heavy you couldn't open them again until next morning. You woke up much more at ease than you had felt when you were last conscious. It was almost like it was a dream. But it definitely wasn't. Your mom's faces when you saw them assured that. After breakfast, as you were sat down and your family went over yesterday's events in full. Okay, we're gonna get the talking to. Yeah, I knew this was a long one. I knew this would be a long one. We'd be in for it with this one. And I'm making it longer. They were none too pleased that you went out to find Cove on your own. As punishment, your moms took away your TV privileges for the next few days. Lizzie was annoyed that she couldn't watch her shows with you around, but she adjusted. Oh, why? It's punishment for Lizzie, too, man. Yeah, in those days, you didn't have computers or phones, so, yeah, no cartoons, right? That's it. Whenever you expressed disappointment, your moms reminded you that they were punishing you. They weren't punishing you for no reason. It was dangerous to go out on your own so late, and without telling anyone, you could have gotten hurt or worse. Okay, I didn't go out when it was late. I went out when it was like morning. Okay, Mom? Okay? Jeez. Drama much. As upset as you were, you understood. Mr. Holden talked to Cove about what happened, too. He didn't know what was said exactly, but Mr. Holden forgave Cove immediately. He didn't do anything to punish Cove for running away. He blamed no one but himself for Cove's desire to leave home. Yeah, this is the kind of man that Clifford Holden is. We know at the end of the day. You caught your moms discussing it once in hushed tones, frowning at each other. It was pretty serious. There was a word you used but hadn't heard before. There was a word used you hadn't heard before. Self-flagellation. But there wasn't anything they could do to change Mr. Holden's mind. Your neighbors stopped you and Cove often for the next few weeks or so to express their concerns and disapproval of the event. Yeah, we made the whole neighborhood mad, okay? We were bad kids that day. Still, as they always did, days continued to pass. So did the talk about Cove running away. Things eventually returned to normal, as they had to. Summer kept going, and you kept having experiences you shared with Cove. Yeah. And then Cove was there, and Cove was always there. Imagine if that was our whole summer. We caught some fireflies, ran away from home, and then summer ended. So yeah, this has been long enough. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for coming along. I hope that was fun and entertaining. We'll see you next time.